I expected Nova Drift to be a simple arcade shooter, but instead I got one of the deepest build crafting roguelikes I've played in years. At the same time, I also understand why some players bounce off it hard. Nova Drift is one of those games where if it clicks, it really clicks, and if it doesn't, no amount of praise will change that. This review focuses less on whether Nova Drift is fun in the abstract and more on how it plays, where it excels and who it's actually going to work for. Nova Drift is a top-down arcade shooter roguelite inspired by classic space games like Asteroids, but rebuilt around modern roguelike systems. Every run is about evolving your ship through dozens of meaningful upgrades that don't just increase numbers, they change how your ship fundamentally behaves. And this is where the game shines and where its biggest problems also start. So let's break down what Nova Drift actually asks you to do run by run. Every run starts simple: a basic ship, a weapon, minimal movement options. Over roughly 30 to 40 minutes, you will make around 30 upgrade decisions, gradually transforming that ship into something unrecognizable. The tension isn't just surviving enemies, it's committing to a direction. Lean too hard into damage and you become fragile. Overinvest into defenses and you risk stalling out. When Nova Drift works, the sense of build momentum is incredible. But when it doesn't, some runs can feel like you're wrestling the controls more than the enemies. This is a fast, reactive game, but not an easy one to control. Nova Drift does not use twin stick controls. It also doesn't fully feel like classic Asteroids. Instead, you're managing rotation, thrust, shooting, and abilities simultaneously. For some players, this feels like skill expression. For others, it feels unintuitive and exhausting, even after rebinding keys. And that criticism is fair. This isn't a generational issue. It is a design choice, and a polarizing one at that. The upgrade system is excellent. Almost every upgrade has an immediate noticeable impact, either visually or mechanically. That said, balance isn't perfect. Certain shield-based builds can dramatically outperform others, reducing the importance of movement and positioning, which undercuts one of the game's core strengths. And that's just one example. If you enjoy discovering broken synergies, that might be a plus. If you care about long-term balance and build variety in the long run, it's something to be aware of. Meta progression unlocks options, not power. Nova Drift doesn't get easier, you just understand it better. And yes, this game would be still fun without meta progression, because mastery comes from decision making, not grinding. This is also where Nova Drift starts to become more divisive, because the same systems that give it depth are the ones some players bounce off hardest. Two issues stand out: visual clarity. Late game effects can overwhelm the screen, especially since many projectiles and ship elements share similar colors. Devs sometimes feel confusing rather than instructive, which is never a good thing in roguelites. Long-term structure. Enemy variety eventually plateaus. Endless mode offers challenge but not direction. Players looking for clear destination or evolving environments may lose interest once mastery sets in. If you enjoy deep build crafting, skill-first roguelites, experimentation and mastery, Nova Drift is an easy recommendation. If you prefer intuitive controls, clear structure and progression, and strong visual readability under chaos, this might not be for you. And that's okay. If you want to compare it to Vampire Survivors, for example, Nova Drift is more demanding, more deliberate, and far more system-driven, but also less immediately accessible and less readable at peak chaos. Nova Drift is a fantastic systems-driven roguelite, held back by polarizing controls and visual clarity issues, and some balance concerns in my opinion. If the controls click for you, there's easily dozens of hours of meaningful experimentation here. If they don't, no amount of depth will save it. If you enjoy roguelites, where your success depends on understanding interactions and committing to a direction early, there's a lot to like here. If you're looking for tighter control clarity, stronger onboarding, or a more direct sense of progression, this may wear thin faster than you'd expect. For me, Nova Drift is easy to respect, even when it doesn't fully click. And that's usually a sign there's something worth paying attention to. If you want to see how these systems play out in real time, there's a full unedited run link below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next review.